Hello, Shalom Ola. Welcome to the Spiritual Life with Travis Tidwell, international mystic psychic medium. And happy for you guys to tune in. I'm happy to be here to share this podcast with you. This is episode 8. We're talking about crystal readings, and we're talking about colors and chakras. And again, this spiritual life is dedicated to empowering you people out there. You know, I'm a spiritual master for a living. This is what I do. I'm employed by spirit. So, you know, the spiritual life is designed to bring something spiritual in your life to help you become spiritual, more empowered. I'm also using this as a platform to share my sacred dragon philosophy and the Adam and Eve consciousness which we live in. But first, let's acknowledge my executive producer here, Athena, who's not only my daughter, but a high priestess of sacred dragon. Is a psychic and does tarot readings already at her age. She's teenager still, but invincible. You know, seems to be very, very determined to be successful in her life already. And she, you know, everybody in my family, my mom had a gift, and I have a gift. My son, you know, my children have a gift. So it's something that's in our blood, kind of, so to speak. But I've made plenty of psychics out there. My top priestess right now is making big money being a psychic and having a lot of fun in life. And I make master healers through Reiki and the whole 9 yards. So you want to attain something, I can make it happen. Tonight, they're talking about crystal readings. In other words, you know, if you were here and I saw you in person, I have a bowl here of crystals. When you come to see me for a reading, I'd be pick a crystal. And the crystal's going to tell me a lot about yourself. I actually read for people. I'll meet you at the store, say, here, take a crystal, and then they'll take the crystal. Oh, this is what's going on in your life right now. And I'm pretty much on point. I read anything that break sticks. I could read it, break out M&Ms, throw a rock in a puddle of water. I'll read it. I mean, I can read anything. Seriously. Divination's that sick. But anyway, I love what I do. And I love divination. I'm very intuitive. I'm sort of a medium. So I'm not just a medium at all. What they consider to be an evidential medium. So, back to the 7 colors. If you haven't studied your chakra colors, it might be hard for you on this podcast to kind of grasp some of the stuff I'm saying. So if you haven't checked out your chakras after this podcast, Google it and see what you come up for information. Usually, when we talk about the chakras, the 7 colors, those are the 7 colors of the rainbow. Those are the same colors of your chakras, which is kind of amazing. And so if you're attracted to a certain color, so let's say you have a lot of amethyst in your house, a lot of purple stones, well, that's going to be connected to your 3rd eye chakra, which is where your psyche is located in your imagination on some level. You're picking a lot of green, you're wearing a lot of green in your life. That's going to be for love and healing or money, abundance. Sometimes, people wear green when they don't feel good because it's a good healing color. 2 colors you stay away from when you're depressed or when you're not feeling good or you're sick or you have a disease or illness. Don't wear red at all, ever. And only wear black when you feel good, because black's a very empowering color, but if you're depressed, it'll make it worse. So colors have a strong effect on us here in this life. And being spiritual is important for you to know that. You need to know your surroundings and know what's affecting you on some level. We're very visual people. And we work out of our emotional body about 90% of the time. Oh, that color looks good. That's a feeling for me. Okay. Rationally doesn't mean anything. But my emotional, oh yeah, that color looks good, oh, that food smells good. I mean, we're in our emotional body. So put yourself in check on that sometimes. Shut down your heart chakra. If you're not able to handle your emotions, and visualize that green going out of your heart chakra, you're shutting down. Now, I'm talking about picking a crystal tonight. So there's a couple of different ways. It's funny how people, even today I did readings, and somebody picked a crystal with their eyes closed, which I'm always impressed when they do it intuitively like that, because they really do want to get a message, They didn't pick a crystal that the color wasn't all that great, and it was kind of bland. I go, well, pick it. I need to read something, And then I read both crystals for them, and they were both on point. But yeah, it's amazing what you'll pick intuitively, not being conscious of what you're doing, to pick something that's going to tell you about yourself. And whatever stone you're attracted to means that stone's going to help heal you in some way or resolve something for you. It's a true story that we're created from dirt, because we come from the Adam and Eve consciousness, and that's the story. Through words, God created flesh. It was probably more like a frequency or a sound. I guarantee that. And then we have the chakras, like I said, which also have their different tones, which also tells us that's, again, part of our creation. So, go to the store. If you don't have a crystal out there right now, if you have some crystals at home, crystal close to this podcast, I'm going to talk colors here in just a second. And we can see what colors you're attracted to, maybe what's going on in your life. If not, once this podcast is over, immediately go to a metaphysical, go to a bookstore, go online, get a crystal, get some crystals and see what you're attracted to. Now, Scott Cunningham has a great crystal dictionary out there. I like it. It's not as in-depth as some. The other book that's really good is called Love is in the Earth by Melody. That's a great crystal dictionary. Then you can figure out what you need to do with your life, or how you need to change, or what those stones will help facilitate for yourself for change. So, an example, you pick a purple stone. No, let's go back to that. Excuse me. You pick a white stone, you got new ideas. Anything white says your crown chakra is wide open, you got new ideas. You pick a purple stone, and this is just quick stuff here tonight, people. If you really want more in depth, you call me, set up an appointment, or email me. We can collaborate. Hopefully, I'll have a premium subscription here soon, so we can get more information out there for you. But again, you pick that purple stone. It's more about creativity, imagination. Let's say you have a blue stone you're connected to, whether it's lapis or sodalite or kunzite, doesn't matter. It's a blue stone, and that means that you're working with your throat chakra a lot. It tells us that you can be doing long distance communication, long distance travel, planning the future, and looking at law, philosophy, or religion in some aspect for yourself. If you're picking green stone, you're working with your heart chakra, and that's going to represent working with healing energy, whether you need the healing, maybe you're giving a healing. It also represents money and abundance, which we all need money. Money is the only way we have freedom and liberation here on this planet, unfortunately. Green's a good color to promote money, prosperity, abundance, and love. And love is what powers this whole planet. Remember, we were created from love, our divine source. There's just no way out of that. And that's what really sparks us to do that. Now, if you pick a yellow stone, that represents your solar plex. That's going to tell us that you're working right now with your true will, or trying to find your true will, or enhance the beauty in your life. If you pick a stone that's orange, that tells us that you're working at home, your immediate environment, your navel chakra, which also tells us too that you could have stomach problems or lower body problems. If you pick a carnelian or an orange stone, again, it's going to be connected to your navel, your immediate environment, local communication, local travel, things of that nature. And if you pick a red stone, that's your root chakra, and it tells us that you either are lacking in physical, mental activity, or maybe you have too much. But these are all different good colors for you to work with. If there's one color that stands out more than the other, then that's the stone you need to work with to help balance that out for yourself. I do a great hour meditation once a month called the Dragon Middle Pillar, and I take you through your chakras with rhythmic breath, and you experience the colors. And when we come out of the meditation, I ask you what color stood out the most, whatever color that was, and at that point, that's the chakra you need to work with. It's not rocket science, it really, really isn't. And if it sounds confusing, I'm sorry. Like I said, there's some basic books out there on chakras. If you have any real information that you want to share with me, that's great. If you have any questions, you can email me at TravisTidwellPodcast@gmail.com. Right now, I'd like to take a moment to promote my album. Time Has Come by Travis Tidwell on Spotify, iTunes, Pandora. It's all over the place. Napster. It's everywhere. Check it out, please. You can also go to YouTube, Travis Tidwell Podcast at YouTube, and you'll see these podcasts here that we're talking about. My executive producer is actually filming right now as we speak. And you'll see this giant crystal on the table here. So it's amazing how I can take a crystal and tell you what's going on in your life. It's amazing how whatever crystal you pick tonight that you're working with at home, if you have crystal in your home, and truly whatever crystal you're attracted to is a crystal you need to grab right now and start working with. Again, you can go through the colors again on this podcast that we shared. Those are basic fundamental information for metaphysics. And again, if you don't know who your assigned angel is, you can also give me an email, and I will get back to you and tell you who that assigned angel is. I guess on that note, we're going to end this podcast tonight. Before we do, I also want to give you one other tip. When you're picking a stone, there's different reasons and different ways to do that. And I just want you to remember that if you're visually attracted to it, pick it. If you're sensing it, pick it. If you close your eyes, it was meant to be when you pick it. but do something for yourself to start motivating yourself. Start working with some crystals here. Incorporating a crystal in your life is going to make you more spiritual, help raise your spiritual vibration with everything else I've shared with you this evening, or on this podcast, excuse me. On that note, I'm hoping everybody will have a blessed evening. I want to thank my executive producer, Athena, for making this happen tonight with the Lord God Yahweh, Sacred Dragon, and all those involved. And I want to wish everybody on planet Earth peace and love. So be it.